Welcome to another edition of North Dakota Hockey with Brad Barry. I'm Alex Heinert. Well, despite coming off a stumble last week against Miami, the defending national champs were still entering the weekend series against Minnesota Duluth in good form and in good spirits. After all, UND has won 4 of their last 5 to start the second half, and we're finally a completed team with players coming back from injury and from international duty. But as you'd imagine, the 4th-ranked Bulldogs had no intentions of letting UND keep that momentum rolling. To the Ralph, Friday night, where North Dakota was hoping to erase the memory of a sweep at Duluth in late October. Things could not have started much better for the home team in this one. UND on a power play 7 minutes in, when Tyson Jost patiently walks in between the D and snipes one past Hunter Miska off the pipe and in. 11th of the season for Jost, 1-0 Hawks. Just 38 seconds later, though, the Bulldogs would equalize. Dan Molinar with a shot from the point, Riley Tufte with the redirect, and it's 1-1. Tail end of the first, still 1-1. Duluth with the backdoor pass. Cam Johnson makes the point-blank save and gets plowed over by Sammy Spurl. The puck ends up in the back of the net, but the goal correctly waved off for goaltender interference. Fast forward to the final seconds of the first, Duluth on the power play. They beat Cam as the horn sounds. The officials adjudged the puck did cross the goal line before the whistle, but Brad Barry contends there was an offsides call missed on zone entry. The officials take another review, the call gets reversed, and the game stays tied at 1 apiece. It would not remain that way for long, however. Just as the Duluth power play expires, Adam Johnson would go end-to-end, weaving through the UND defense and beating Cam from a tight angle to make it 2-1 Bulldogs. 5 minutes later, it would be 3-1. Sammy Spurl shoots one from the corner that somehow sneaks by Johnson from an impossible angle. Watch it again. Johnson in position, but the puck somehow finds its way through Cam, and that would be the last action of the night for number 33 as Matt Harinkyu comes on in relief for his first action of the season. The senior from Saskatoon would make 17 saves on the night, but he would get beat here in the final 2 minutes of the second. Duluth plays the puck over Harinkyu and off the boards, right into the path of Avery Peterson. Third goal of the period here for the Bulldogs, 4-1 heading into the third. UND would fight back, though, in the final frame. Gage Osmus gets in the way of the clearance attempt here, and the puck falls kindly to Shane Gersich. The sophomore does the rest. A beautiful backhand finish to beat Hunter Miska 5-hole. 17th goal of the season for Shane, his 12th in NCHC play to move into sole possession of first place in the conference goals lead. Just when it looked like UND was back in it, though, Christian Wolanin would get hit with a 5-minute major and a game misconduct for contact to the head. North Dakota would generate multiple chances on the 5-on-4, but could not convert. And with 1:30 left in the Bulldog power play, Duluth would hit their 5th of the night. Tufte with his 2nd of the evening off the rebound. 5-2 UMD with 10 minutes left, but despite trailing by 3, the fight did not leave North Dakota. Power play chance with under 5 minutes left. Chris Wilkie puts one on Miska, and Joel Janetweenan is there to punch in the loose puck. 6th of the year for Joel, that makes it 5-3, but time would run out on the comeback effort as Duluth would take game 1 by that 5-3 scoreline. UND did go 2 for 3 on the power play, but the Bulldogs would outshoot North Dakota 34-24 and win the face-off battle by 10 as well, en route to their 4th straight win over the reigning national champs. North Dakota was hoping for better in Game 2 on Saturday, and they would start the game well. Opening shift of the contest, Shane Gersich with a series of good chances here, only to be repelled by Hunter Miska on each occasion. The best opportunities of the first would fall to UMD, however, and the Dogs would capitalize. 3 minutes in, a bouncing puck falls to Adam Johnson, and the sophomore buries it for his 2nd of the series and his 10th of the year, 1-0 Duluth. 10 minutes later, UMD on the power play. Moments after hitting the pipe, they would find the back of the net through Willie Raskob. This blast from the point beats Cam Johnson to make it 2-0. That would be the score after 1, but UND would come back strong in the second. Mike Gornall, playing in place of an injured Tyson Jost, would get the blocked shot here and turn it into a breakaway chance the other direction. Great save by Miska to keep the 0 on the scoreboard. Look at it again. Gornall turning defense into offense and nearly scoring his first of the season. More good chances for UND midway through the second. A power play chance here for Brock Besser, but the All-American cannot corral a rolling puck at the top of the crease. The scoreline remains 2-0. 1:50 left in the second. UND finally gets one by Miska on this point shot from Christian Wolanin, but it is immediately waved off for a high stick. Check out the replay. Hayden Shaw with the redirect as the puck is above the crossbar, and it remains 2-0. Dying seconds of the period now. North Dakota comes as close as you can to pulling one back. Ludwighoff finds Chris Wilkie, and he beats Miska, but he cannot beat the crossbar. A heartbreaker for Wilkie, who is still searching for his first strike of the season. North Dakota would rue that miss in the end as Duluth would get the all-important third goal of the game. Power play for UND at the start of the third, but a mix-up here in the defensive zone gifts the puck to Dominic Toninato, and the UMD captain beats Cam shorthanded to extend the Bulldog lead. Duluth would tack on one more in the third to earn the 4-0 victory and complete the first 4-game season sweep of North Dakota in Duluth's 73-year program history. It's the first time UND has been swept at home since 2013, and the first time they would fail to score on home ice since 2011. Head coach Brad Berry will join us after the break to give us his thoughts on the series against the Bulldogs. Stay tuned.
North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Welcome back. Well, we're joined now by the head coach of North Dakota men's hockey, Brad Berry. And Brad, you entered this weekend with an opportunity to get back at Duluth after losing to them earlier this season in Duluth. But despite a good effort from the boys, it just didn't work out that way this weekend.
You know what, on Friday night I thought, we had a lot of jump in our step. And again, we're playing against a pretty experienced, pretty good team in Duluth. And, we came up just a little bit short. But again, we have to take the positives from the weekend and make sure that we keep moving forward and building our group.
Yeah, Friday night's game had a couple of momentum shifts early in the game. You get a good goal from Tyson Jost on the power play. They come right back, though, and score 38 seconds later. That second goal really seemed to set the tone for the weekend.
Yeah, you know what, over the past probably 2 or 3 weeks, it's kind of been the case. We score a goal, and, the response is the other team gets one back. That's where we have to have sustained momentum of trying to get 2 or 3 more shifts in there into the rink to try to keep that momentum.
Yeah, 1-1 after the first. You had a big challenge play at the end of that first. The goal that they scored that ends up getting disallowed. Good call to make sure they check on the offsides coming into the zone.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a play that we saw from the bench. It was offside, but we were going to see if it was first expired, if the period expired, and it was a good goal that way. But it wasn't offside. We challenged it, and again, we were tied going into the break.
Yeah, 1-1 after that. They tack on 3 in the second to build that 4-1 lead. You decide to pull Cam after the third goal goes in. Just talk about the decision to go with Matt for the rest of the contest.
Well, first of all, Cam's been a rock for us, in his career here at North Dakota, and it was one of those goals where I'm sure you wish he would have had back. But I think most of all, it's mostly for a statement to our team that we want to move forward and we got to try to win the game. And I thought at that this time we could put Matt Rinku in goal, and he's been solid for us. So again, it's one of those things where it's a team first mentality.
Yeah, 4-1 after the second. You get a good push though in the third. Shane Gersich gets a goal, tries to get the troops going. 17 goals now for Shane. That really seemed to feel like maybe that would be your way back into the contest.
Yeah, 100%. It was a transition play where the puck got put back into their zone, and I think he scored a couple of goals like that off a transition and going backhand deke through the 5-hole, and he made a good play on it, and we're back in the game again.
Yeah, you're able to keep momentum going despite getting stuck with a 5-minute major halfway through the period. Felt like you had a great chance to score despite being down a man. They would tack on the extra power play goal though and able to see this one out. Your biggest takeaway from the game on Friday, Coach?
Well, I think we let the game slip away from us in a couple different areas. The biggest thing is in the second period when it was tied 1-1, I thought we had a chance to take the game over, and we gave up a couple of easy goals, and that was the difference of the game. And again, like I said, it's one of those things where when you're playing against a very good team, it's a fine line, and you have to be clean.
Saturday's game would start before that with some bad news, learning that Tyson Jost and Joel Janetwinen wouldn't be available for the contest. Just talk about a bit the decision to move Christian Wolanin up into that wing spot to help fill out the role.
Well, kind of our thought process there was, when you lose a guy like Tyson Jost and Joel Janetwinen, they're 2 pretty good offensive players in our group here, and we wanted to try to infuse, somebody that has those offensive instincts up front. And, Christian does it from the back end, and I thought, we could put him in a role where he could give us some offensive zone time with his offensive ability.
Yeah, Saturday's game would start a little bit slow. You had a good start out the first couple of shifts. They would get the first 2 goals of the contest. A much better second period, though, for you. What were some of the keys to getting back in this game in those second 20 minutes?
Well, the first thing is we had a really good start. We had, the Besser line came out, and we had a couple great opportunities to start with, and then, 3 or 4 minutes later, they get a goal, unfortunate goal from our standpoint, because we couldn't break out a puck with not much pressure on us, and again, they get the first goal of the game. But I thought we responded well, and I thought we had really good momentum in the second period. We out-chanced them and played the right way, and we couldn't capitalize on the power play. Had a couple of good looks there, and again, we couldn't get a bounce to get us back in the game to tie it up.
Yeah, you outshot them 14-6 in those second 20 minutes. And as you said, just bounces weren't going your way. 3 of their goals on the night, all unassisted off just kind of weird caroms and down bounces. Some games just go like that sometimes.
Yeah, and again, there's no excuses in our game. Like, we have to play better. That's the first thing is we got to make sure that we play better. And, when you play against a good team like that, they create their own opportunities, and we got to make sure that we're a little bit cleaner in the way we play.
Yeah, so Duluth does get the 4-0 win to complete the season sweep over you, but still plenty of season left. We're going to talk about the next matchup for UND against Colorado College when we come back. Welcome back. Well, with Duluth now behind them, Bradbury and North Dakota set their sights on the mountains of Colorado as Colorado College looms next. And, Coach, this has been kind of a tough stretch here at home, not able to take advantage of this 4-game homestand. Maybe a chance with the change of scenery to get back on the winning track.
Yeah, absolutely. We're back on the road again. We've had a little bit of success here in the second half of the season on the road, and we're going to be playing against a very competitive Colorado College team that plays well in their building. So again, we have to have a good week of practice here and make sure that we're ready to get out to CC.
Yeah, we got the sense after talking to the guys after the game on Saturday, they were ready for a road trip just to sort of regroup and refocus. Just talk to me, why do you think that is the case? Why this team has played so well away from home this year?
Well, I think, when you get on the road, I think, you can't help it, but you're together all the time, whether you're going to practice, whether the games, whether you're in the hotel. I mean, you're together, you're a tight group. And I remember, I go back to our season last year where we started the first month of October all together on the road. We had a pretty good record, and I think it'll be a good change for us to get out on the road and again bring our road game.
Yeah, you mentioned the road success. You've won your last 6 games on the road. Now you take on a CC team that is last in the league, but is certainly better than their record indicates, even though they've only got 2 wins this year. They're just a couple of weeks removed from beating Duluth at Amsoil Arena. Talk about the challenges that team is going to pose to you.
Well, first of all, they play, Mike Havlett he's a really good coach, and he's got them playing the right way. They've added some new faces in their lineup. They have a young goaltender, freshman goaltender that's been playing most of the games pretty well. And they don't give up a lot. So again, it's one of those things where we're going to have to try to get to the net, try to get opportunities, and try to take advantage of our play in their end of the rink.
You mentioned Mike Havlin now in his 3rd season at the helm of the Tigers. Where have you seen this program change under his leadership the last couple of years?
I think just in their approach to the game, they're very competitive, they're very attack orientated. They're structured. So again, it's a work in progress for him, and he's doing a good job there.
For you now going into this contest, you've obviously had a lot of success against Colorado College. I think 15 of the last 17 games you've beaten this team. What are some keys now to have some success at the Broadmoor World Arena coming up this weekend?
I think first of all is making sure that we drill down on the details of our game that gives us a chance to win. And obviously there's very good teams in our league, but we can't beat ourselves with little plays that give other teams opportunities. And again, we got to make sure that we pay attention to that, and again, have a good week of practice so we can iron some things out.
Yeah, I should ask you on the injury front again. Tyson Jost and Joel Janatuinen both missed that Saturday game against Duluth. Gage Osmus goes down halfway through that contest. What can you tell us about their status moving forward?
Well, we're going to have to monitor them from day to day here and see. Obviously they're all big parts of our group going forward here, but we got to make sure that they're healthy to be in the lineup, and Mark Poolman will give us an update on how that is. So again, like I said, we'll go through it. We have a great group of guys in our locker room here that if they aren't, they'll be the next man up mentality.
Yeah, looking big picture now again, 10 games left in the regular season, sitting 5th in the NCHC standings, but still awfully close between 3rd and 7th in this league. How important does this series and these games going forward do?
They're vital. Obviously going on the road here, we have to win, and our guys know that there's urgency in our game and our lineup. That there's only 10 games remaining. We have to make sure that we keep climbing can't get left behind. We got to keep moving forward.
Yeah, well, a great opportunity again this weekend to get back on the winning track. Coach, safe travels to you and the team out there and back. We'll talk to you about it next week.
Thanks, Alex.
Coming up next, a chance to chat with the Poolman men here on North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry. Stick around. Welcome back. Well, there have been a number of families over the years that have become synonymous with North Dakota hockey. The Lamoureux, the McMillans, the Schmaltzes, the Johnsons, except we could go on and on. The latest family to add to that list, of course, is the Poolman clan, though the impact that Mark, Colton, and Tucker have had goes beyond this season and beyond the ice.
A couple of kids from East Grand Forks making the most of their opportunity. It's a Poolman family tradition, and it's working well here.
Families in sports can be seen everywhere. But few families have a tie to a program quite like the Poolmans and North Dakota hockey.
I think they both were interested from the beginning with hockey. Obviously, probably the position that I have and the abilities for them to come and at least be around the rink and everything.
Played a couple sports growing up, and hockey was one of them. You know, as I got older and older, it kind of became the only sport I really wanted to push myself in, I guess.
Tucker was pretty big, I guess, in me playing hockey. I just saw him, he'd be skating outside on the backyard, and obviously little brother, I kind of want to go out and join him, see what I can do. So he kind of piqued my interest in hockey, I guess.
They had fun in the backyard, competed against each other in the backyard. I learned from Michigan Tech how to build snow walls and everything, so that was the boards.
I get a couple of friends, mine and Colton's, and you know, just spend all day out there and make up any kind of game we could, and it was always fun.
Me being the little brother, I always gotta show up Tuck and his friends. A lot of heated moments, a lot of me going to the parents with some tears in my eyes, so saying Tucker was being mean to me, but it was fun.
With the backyard as their proving ground, the boys developed a shared love for the game. However, there was always one thing they couldn't share. Because of their age, Tucker and Colton would likely never play on the same team.
It's funny, the boys have a cousin from Baudette, and my older brother had mentioned, let's try to get Tucker and Kyle to play at UND, and at that time they were sophomores and juniors in high school, and I kind of laughed as far as that doesn't happen. Okay, just go ahead with your normal plans. Let's not plan on our boys playing at UND.
But as luck would have it, two of Mark Poolman's boys would.
After my first year of juniors, I think I got drafted to Omaha, and I had 2 more years of juniors left that time, and I thought if I could have a good year or two, I'd be able to, you know, get here.
I would go to college anywhere, I guess, but this had obviously been my big dream and the place I wanted to go. So my first year in Fargo, I thought, you know, maybe I could make it here, and then obviously committed here, and it was a dream come true.
Tucker would have to wait 2 years before Colton could join him on campus. But before that could happen, he would have to make a decision: go pro or stay for his junior season.
They're 2.5 years apart, but they're pretty tight for brothers, and I think that means an awful lot to both of them. To play on the same team, be together for a whole year. I think Colton coming here was a big reason why he wanted to come back.
I think it would have been tough to leave even without Colton coming here, and I still think I had things in my game I want to work on, and you know, it's gonna be real hard to leave just because it's something, as you know, we've always wanted to play here, and the fact we could play together, something I didn't really want to ruin.
To have both the boys on the ice at the same time, as a dad, you're thinking, don't screw up type thing. You know, just wanting them to fit in, succeed, and have fun with it.
He has kind of one of those dad grins. You can tell he's trying to hide it, but I can tell on the inside he's got a little dad grin, I'll call it, going on. So we can see it, but he tries to keep it professional.
A lot of missed time for my dad, obviously not being able to see us play because he's with the team, and now just being able to spend that time with obviously him is great, and also my brother, just make up for lost time, I guess, if you want to say it. And it's been really cool just because see him day in, day out. It's not really work. It's just hockey.
Thanks to Marty Mueller for that story. When we come back on North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry, one more look at this series against Colorado College and a look at the polls and standings of the NCHC. Stay tuned.
North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
North Dakota will hope for 6 points from their trip west this weekend against a struggling Colorado College team that has not beaten UND in 13 tries. The Fighting Hawks have wins in 15 of the previous 17 meetings and will look to continue that run at 8:30 p.m. Friday and 7 p.m. Saturday at Broadmoor World Arena. We'll be back next Tuesday to break down the series with the Tigers on our next edition of North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry. Until then, I'm Alex Heinert. Thanks for watching.